Fellas, I have one question.
It was become European. See, new video for Mr. and Reggie. We are becoming European.
Have you ever wanted to explore a legally distinct world with a legally distinct art?
Is this Minecraft proportions? Is this STALCRAFT? Is this Minecraft but Soviet Union?
Style, all while using a legally distinct weapon customization system. Well, you're in luck, because I owe an inordinate amount of money to the Canadian Mafia, and if I don't pay up soon, I'm...
Oh, I mean, this is not too bad, honestly.
Going to get trafficked, which leads me to my next point. This
could have been me in Rotterdam.
If I don't pay up soon,
Not this
I'm
one.
going to get trafficked.
This one. See, if I could have been just like yoink, just like yoink.
Which leads me to my next point.
I would have ended up in the gulag.
This video is sponsored by STALCRAFT X. STALCRAFT is an open-world extraction shooter fielding tens of thousands of players and plenty of informative reviews. When I read a review that said, and I quote, "The developers need to be shot," I
Everyone is a critic nowadays.
knew I had found something special. So today, we're going to be exploring STALCRAFT X, experiencing its...
It was a positive review. So, with love, they meant. Showered with love is what they meant.
rich community.
Joe Rogan Devourer. Okay.
And answering the important questions, such as, if I was chasing you through the woods naked, could you escape? Would you even try? But before we can...
That's actually a good question. I don't know. Maybe not. Are you offering a good time? Is that a promise? Is that a threat?
Can do any of that, we need to download the game. Just not on Steam. As of writing this review, STALCRAFT has been delisted, and I can't tell you why. Just know that they aren't telling you.
Real, ethereal, bird real, pigeons not true. True.
Everything. This one goes all the way to the top.
I'm gonna come.
But
Same. Only after stream.
I can assure you that I am doing absolutely everything in my power to continue playing Caves of Quad in the meantime. After successfully downloading the game client through 3 layers of virtual machines, I organize it into the appropriate...
Congratulations. Now your computer has a virus. And you will get pop-ups from definitely sexy MILFs in your area.
folder and begin playing. Quick update. STALCRAFT is now back on Steam. Clearly, my
Hooray!
hundreds of carefully worded threats to the CEO of MasterCard have been well received. The main story of STALCRAFT 2 Wings of Liberty sees you, John STALCRAFT, on a personal quest in rural Dagestan to
Just like home. Just like home.
and to kill your own son in order to avoid paying child support. Along the way, you will encounter classic characters such as Good Luck Jonathan and Tokyo Sex Wale. For legal reasons, I am required to disclose that none of that was true. In fact, my entire script for this video is not to be trusted. So please, take everything I say here with a grain of salt. Once you've got the game downloaded, it's time to create a character. Just remember, arbitrary naming...
You have to remember that Nintendo is going to copyright that too soon. Very, very soon. And you will not be able to make a character anymore. You heard it first.
Conventions exist to stifle creativity, defy tradition, become the man you were meant to be. Then you can marvel at your character in the main menu. Unfortunately, the developers
Reggie.
only had the budget to allow for 15 degrees of character rotation, but at least we can wiggle the background slightly. Can somebody say AAA gaming? Now, let's start our first mission. Right off the bat, two
You
things
can't
happen.
use
I
that.
awake to find myself in Eastern
Reggie.
Europe, and as soon as I learn how to move, I attempt suicide via electrocution. These two things are related. Unfortunately, we're in a planned economy, and the electrical grid hasn't worked for the past 50 years, so we have to trudge onward. Eventually, I find my way into a traditional Russian elevator and begin pilfering its inhabitants. I have my first visceral STALCRAFT moment when, after killing several people with an AK-47, I gaze upon their fetid corpses in horror. This
Nice lips, bro.
man's lips look like
Mwah.
surgically reconstructed labia. I stare into the abyss, and the abyss stares into me.
Now I cannot unsee it. God damn it, Reggie. Why would you say that? Why would you say something so brave and so true at the same
I consider
time?
trying my luck with the electrical box again, but instead I
What?
follow instructions to reach an escape helicopter on the roof. Arriving there, I realize the entire building is collapsing, which seems like a great time to use a sniper. After fighting through the last enemies, we reach the chopper to meet our evac team, at which point you might...
Bro, it looks like a Lego game. I cannot take it seriously because all the characters are so short and little clumsy.
say, wait a minute, this
chubby
feels kind of
things.
familiar, before promptly getting shot
Oh,
in the
no.
face. That's what we get for playing the tutorial. Before we go any further, I need to address the elephant in the room. One of the first things you'll notice about this game is the deeply unsettling art style, because they've blended hyper-realistic faces with the sharp 90-degree angles of a tile
Nah, man, I don't see a problem with that. Honestly, it looks good.
floor in a way that the human mind cannot comfortably perceive. Each and every person in this game looks as if they have been subjected to tremendous vacuum pressure to painfully remodel their
No.
anatomy into a series of rectangles, and they don't seem too happy about it. Every AI has the kind of 1,000-yard stare that's
Okay, to be fair, the game is set in Eastern Europe, so this could be simply based off that it's Eastern Europe and not because whatever happened to the character is an eldritch punishment.
silently begs for euthanasia. But no matter how far I shove the barrel of my loaded shotgun into their mouths, I cannot extract even a modicum of human emotion. The naive among us fear creatures of the night, but those burdened with knowledge fear their fellow man above all else.
Okay, not going to lie, when they turn around very quickly, it's freaky as fuck. I can imagine you're playing this game at night and it just like does this like
Of the night, but those burdened
180
with
attitude.
knowledge fear their fellow man above all else. With that
it's terrifying. Yeah, I also love hate the song.
out of the way, allow me to explain the gameplay loop. Starting off, we select one of two factions, stalkers or bandits. Your choice doesn't matter too much, but if you don't want to become the next victim
Dude, and they just like look at you and they're just like slowly approach you. It's just like he's coming, but eye contact. He's not blinking. There's nothing. He's just coming at you.
become the next victim of the bum alley rapist, I suggest choosing stalkers. From here, you're dropping into an open world teeming with other players, hostile wildlife, and some very dangerous mutants. You move from outpost to outpost, completing quests and upgrading your gear. When it comes to armor, we've got everything ranging from a $3 million exoskeleton to I'm on my way to kill Samuel Jackson. And each option offers unique advantages against the variety of threats in
Okay, but does it have a battle pass and microtransactions? Because I would like to look like a magical girl, and I am willing to pay at least $20 for it.
Chernobyl. For example,
It
if
does?
you see a pocket of turbulence,
Perfect.
don't approach it. This
Yes,
is an
I am. Of course it does. I merely meant it as a tease, but of course, yeah.
anomaly, and best case scenario, it's going to launch you into the air and break both of your legs. Worst case scenario, you're going to be blended. That is as lethal as it sounds. Now listen, I won't lie, this starter zone is basically a preschool with guns. The enemies aren't that difficult, and the most dangerous thing is probably forgetting to turn your night vision goggles off when going inside. However, just like preschools, this zone is important for learning. Learn the weapon upgrade paths. Understand the higher
This is how I would imagine, like, starting World of Warcraft Classic, but in, like, Russia. Like, imagine that it wouldn't be in Azeroth or Kalimdor, but, like, you spawn into Moscow, and this is how you start in.
hierarchy of mold and its greater economic value. And most importantly, realize that all food comes in the form of troughs of slop with names such as hoof to the face meat jelly. What the fuck
If you would tell me that that's like Russian food, I wouldn't even be surprised.
is going on? Real honest input here. Once you get outside the starting zone, the game becomes a lot more fun because you need to be challenged in order to give a shit
That's a good point. You die, and then instead of having to respawn at the checkpoint, you respawn to Pripyat. and then you have to go back all the way.
About grinding 2 hours for a new bolt-action rifle. Without consequences, none of this matters. And let me tell you, the game has consequences. The third zone I encountered was the forest. And the forest is a lot like Detroit, because if you get aggro from a local, you must kill them. If instead you choose to run,
Reggie! You cannot say stuff like that. Bad boy.
your weakness will be perceived by the very environment itself.
heck?
And before long, you'll be at the epicenter
I have a feeling that Reggie would be really good friends with Seth. Because they have a similar dark humor.
of a non-consensual gangbang. Also, the entire place is full of surprise trampolines, which
Must
adds
be
an
true.
absurdist element of comedy as you run for your life from gangs of wild animals and sex criminals. Speaking of running, that's my next point of feedback. This game has no fast travel system, unless you consider killing yourself and respawning at the nearest hospital a form of fast travel. This doesn't feel too bad early on, but as your quests push you northward, you're looking at a 30-minute walk if you want to go back to the starting zone. And don't worry, there's just enough
months. Thank you all for a great 32 months.
32
and
months.
more to
Pigs.
come. Love you all,
Come
Skip
on.
Clubbers.
and environmental hazards to make sure you can't use auto-run. I would personally fillet the entire development team just to be able to sniff the seat of a
No, Reggie, why? No. Why would you do this to me, Reggie?
bicycle in STALCRAFT X. I'm not asking for a lot. I'd probably settle for a goddamn toboggan. Just give me something. Technically, the game does have energy drinks and anabolic steroids to make you go faster, but it's only like 3% faster. And if I have to jam another stick of epinephrine into my neck, I'm going to cry. I'm already onboarding a mixture of unregulated stimulants to allow me to carry 150 pounds of copper wire that I stole from the power grid. My body can't take much more. This is probably a good time to discuss the in-game cash shop. I don't know how it...
Of course! Oh my god, it's so pricey too. Bro, if you play a free-to-play game and you spend $50 or basically anything above $10, you're foolish. I appreciate you, but you're a foolish fool fooling around.
works. It appears to be operating
What? Who cares about skins in a game like that?
in several currencies and possibly selling a plane. It also features such exciting offers as the letter E.
Hey, the letter E is very important, actually.
Eventually, I decided to open a loot box, and what did I get? More anabolic steroids. That does it. I'm going to die in these fields. Now, all of that covered the early and mid-game PvE, but PvP is also a huge part of the game, and I'd like to tell you all about it, but I can't. I have only experienced a small portion, because I'm what they call a twink in the classical sense. I go to late-game zones, gather the best weapons, and then I come back to the starting area to sit in a bush shooting dozens of new players in the head. They call me the ultimate predator. Whenever I'm not terrorizing a preschool with a bolt-action rifle, I'm losing gunfights to objectively better players with objectively more offensive names. Like,
Dude, I would never PvP against Russians. I still remember when I was playing this MMORPG and I was like, for whatever the fuck reason, I decided I'm going to go a Russian server because it's Europe and the ping will be better, right? Never again. Oh my god, I was like yelling, mercy, mercy, don't kill me. They were hunting me down. Those people, oh, they are not forgiving. I spent the entire gameplay hiding in like the fucking swamp area, trying to run away. I was running into people, hoping that my Russian chasers, they would just decide to hunt someone else. And I most of the times it was right, but Jesus Christ, I have never felt so terrified in my entire life. Yeah, dude, I just wanted to play. I was just like, oh, it's going to be fine. Open PvP is kind of nice. And then I was like, it was not nice.
like it or not, but this is the food chain in action. On the topic of PvP, eruption shelters are a common place to encounter interpersonal violence.
Yo.
The environment of Chernobyl is kind of quirky in the sense that every 40 minutes, a radiation storm covers the entire
Aw.
map and kills hundreds of people.
Just like real life.
This forces the entire server into a handful of radiation shelters, which can lead to some heated disagreements. I won't lie, I feel a little bad when I see a new player desperately drag themselves into the shelter only for me to shoot them in the face. But in a much more real way, I don't care at all, because I've been grinding mold for the past 2 hours, and I'll be damned if MILF Hunter 19 thinks he can take it away from me. Apart from that, the player culture is fairly reasonable and
Wait a minute. Can I choose an instant instead of being random? Yeah. Yeah. No toxic gamers here? No?
most people are willing to work together. However, a lot of the player base doesn't speak English.
I'm having a bad day. I see.
True! True!
So just be prepared to communicate through a complex system of crouching, spamming voice lines, and hitting each other with shovels. This might sound counterintuitive, but once you negotiate your first trade deal simply by throwing screws at a Polish man's head, you'll understand that you are speaking a universal language.
See, this is like the boys will be boys mentality. They don't even speak the language. They don't need to communicate. They're just beating up each other with a shovel, and then the next minute they become best friends, and they are just going to be like each other's best man at the wedding.
All of that covers the general vibe of the game.
Yep.
Now, I'll run you through the main questline experience. The story of STALCRAFT is as follows. In 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant fucking exploded, spewing radioactive fallout into the atmosphere and giving at least 10,000 people cancer. In the following years, random adventurers and scientific researchers looked at this and said, hold on, I can make it way worse.
Basically real life. Yeah.
Now, due to human interference, Chernobyl is crawling with mutants, magic artifacts, and mercenaries vying for control. And you're one of them. So here's a rusty submachine gun and a few
Man-made sweet horrors beyond my comprehension. Gotta love it.
sticks of anti-radiation chewing gum from the 1980s. Good luck. Depending on which faction you choose, you'll spawn in one of the starting
Did I tell you that it's like World of Warcraft Classic but played in fucking Russia or Pripyat? Did I say it or did I say it? I'm sorry, but I did say it.
villages. If your first intuition is to
That's
find
right.
a nearby lake and drown yourself in it, don't bother. No matter how many times I kill myself, I
It's
keep
not
waking up in
Stalker.
Chernobyl. Hell is a prison of our own creation, so let's make the most of it. Quickly acquainting myself with the townspeople, I find a weapons vendor, a toothless man trying to sell me industrial dehumidifiers,
I thought that was a Hewlett-Packard printer.
and a probable neo-Nazi. The European realism is astonishing. Above all else, you will quickly realize that every town is full of people with obviously fake names that will try to convince you to commit heinous acts of violence for as much as $12 US.
Okay, to be fair, $12 US is a lot of money at home. So if someone says, if Pietro says that you should cut off someone's ears for $12, you know, yeah, $12 is $12.
Try to convince you to commit heinous
Not too
acts of
bad.
violence for as much as $12 US. That's if you're lucky. Most of the
You
time,
have to remember, this is... Wait, is this still in the past? Is it in 86? It might not be in 86 anymore.
it's just random garbage. And let me tell you, there's something profoundly insulting about spending 20 minutes beating
Must be
wild
true.
pigs to death with a shovel, only to get
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not sure if that's a pig. That is, a... Is it? Chat, is this a pig? Is this a nice, organic, homegrown Chernobyl pig? Doggo pig, mo pig? Looks big to me. Fine.
with a shovel, only to get paid in Rubik's Cubes and rolls of toilet
Rubik's Cubes is Hungarian, actually. Cultural appropriation. Hello?
paper. But I accept it, because I'm
Excuse
not here
me?
to make money. I'm here to discover the mysteries of Chernobyl.
Hey, you want a sex RP?
I start by speaking with the camp leader. He offers to introduce me to a local schizophrenic who might be able to help, but first, he needs me to do a job for him. The job isn't important, just know that by accepting, you have irreversibly set in motion an 18-hour-long chain of, "Sure, Stalker, I can help you out, but first, you need to do this for me." I'll be honest, I don't remember a lot of the details for the first quest, because as soon as I left the town, my survival instincts kicked in, at which point I ran into the wilderness and started bathing in stagnant water, making sure to drink as much of it as possible before punching out the windows of a nearby car to fill my pockets with glass in case I got hungry. Fair warning, role-playing in this way did result in several people calling me retarded. In their defense, I probably am. After physically perforating a dozen people, I am put in contact with a local mystic known as the Shaman. In real life, both of these terms are practical synonyms for drug addict. Regardless, the Shaman explains some things to us. Somewhere in Chernobyl, there's a magic blue artifact of immeasurable power. And we are supernaturally drawn to it. This unnatural attraction is known as the blessing. That might sound cool, but mostly it just results in us experiencing horrifying hallucinations.
So guys, we did it. 250,000 obese fucking...
Oh, no! Okay, Reggie needs to be cut off the internet. That's it. He went too far. Too fucking far.
And waking up in different places.
Oh my god, is the Tasmango stable? What is that, brother? What is that? Please tell me there's just chocolate pudding. What is that? Is this really Asmongold's? This is disgusting. Do you think he will ever be able to get married? Is he going to live alone forever? Because there's no way that any woman would put up with this. No, I don't think so. He did clean up once in like his entire lifetime. Once. Back in like 2019.
In fact, I'm pretty sure we're just epileptic. However, that's not the public perception. Being blessed in Chernobyl is like being an albino in Tanzania, because people are going to try to kill you and harvest your organs. And I don't know about you, but I'd prefer if my rectangular dick and balls weren't turned into powder and smoked by a local witch doctor. So we've got to keep our wits about us. The main quest line involves us being passed around.
That's a solid point. Do you think they have rectangular balls? They must. They simply must. That's the rule. There's no roundness.
Around by local magic men, with each one becoming more mentally ill than the last. We start by killing a few people for Shaman, no big deal. Then we seek out the Oracle, which requires us to develop prostate cancer several times, as he lives in the middle of a radiation field. Shortly after meeting him, Oracle is arrested for punching women in the street, so we move on to working with a clearly psychotic man living in a swamp. He canonically believes that he is the Snake from a 1967 children's movie. He also sends us on a series of riddles that typically end with us sorting through a backpack full of dead rats. The more I interact with these people...
Why is this game oddly detailed? It almost sounds like that this could be actually fun.
The more I crave
like
an absolute and immediate death, but
No!
I push on to meet my
That's
contractual obligations. After working your way through a conga line of the mentally deranged, you'll arrive at the bar. This is one of the few locations where bandits and stalkers can peacefully coexist, because an Eastern European's physiological need to be an alcoholic...
Look at it. The saucing. I should buy some saucing.
Alcoholic overrides all cultural and ethnic loyalties. Basically, this is Dalaran, and if you understand that reference, I'll see you in the retirement home. This place has plenty of vendors, and it's usually pretty chill. Except one time, there was a rooftop sniper killing everyone, and we couldn't find him. Other than that, very nice place. Anyway, it's at the bar that we will be forced to choose a secondary faction to align ourselves with. Frontier is a paramilitary group that uses human wave tactics in an effort to destroy all mutants and gain control of Chernobyl.
That pig has high heels. That's the most elegant mutant pig I have ever seen. You see that shit? Those are high heels. Those are some nice fancy-ass boots, gentlemen. Asalaya.
of Chernobyl. I am contractually not allowed to compare them to the Wagner PMC group, so I won't. Our other option is Rise. This is a group of anarcho-libertarians who are brave enough to posit that maybe, just maybe, Chernobyl would be better without any government oversight. I choose Rise purely because I think they're mentally challenged and it'll be funnier. After that, our new allies help us track down Oracle, who was captured by an enemy gang called the Orderlies. I sneak into their top secret enemy base by simply saying I work here, and then we find Oracle. By this point in the game, I'm only reading like 30% of the dialogue, so the details are kind of spotty. But the gist of it is that the blue sphere is somewhere over here. However, it's being guarded by 5G towers that will melt your brain
The Nep Nudger.
and turn you into a zombie if you get too close. Luckily, Oracle gives us his finest tinfoil hat and we escape via helicopter. But we have a pretty bad track record with helicopters, and it crashes shortly after takeoff. Dusting myself off from the explosion, I head straight for the blue sphere. The only thing standing in my way now is about 10,000 enemy AI, so let it begin.
Hell
After
yeah.
all that, we're so close. The sphere is in the next room, and to get there, we just have one final boss fight. Everyone up to this point was a guard, but this is the guard. I can't lie, I have mixed feelings about this boss.
I hate this fucking.
But he's so happy. Oh my god, look at him. He's like, oh my god, you came here for me? Oh, this is the best fucking day ever. Look at him.
Boss!
In order to kill him, we need
Probably the happiest person in all of Eastern Europe, bro.
to destroy the 6 power cells located on his body, while making sure to dodge his lasers, kill the ads, stop him from recharging, all while continuously shoving first aid kits up our ass. In order for him to kill us, he just needs to touch us. You could say we're at a disadvantage, but after getting flattened about 20 times, you'll start to understand the dodging and become the Matador. At that point, you pretty much got him beat. Moving on from that, we head into the final
No, the
room, where we
boy.
find generic Russian
Oh my god, this was scary. I thought it was an owl.
scientist who intends to use the power of the blue sphere to create an army of zombies and take over the world.
Listen, if you would tell me that there's a Russian scientist who is trying to create zombies all over the world, I would be like, yeah. Yeah, sure. And
Very cool, but do you have a gun?
Must
because
be
all
true.
of my friends do. The scientist makes
Could
his
be
escape,
anything.
but we firmly secured the sphere. There's just one problem. The orderlies showed up, along with all of our drug addict friends from earlier, and they're disagreeing on what to do with the sphere. The orderlies want to
shove it up your ass. Shove it up your ass. That's the only thing you can do.
destroy it, whereas Shaman wants to use its power to enact his most depraved
No, 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 no.
fantasies. I can tolerate a lot, but gooning in this economy,
Gooning. Don't take my sunshine away, okay? Just don't take my sunshine away.
I don't think so. This kicks off a huge boss fight
Please.
where Shaman and his druggies seize control of the sphere and start using it to summon an absolute shitload of mutants. If you don't have an automatic weapon for this part, you're simply not completing it. Eventually, Shaman fully absorbs the power of the sphere and starts saying a bunch of homoerotic stuff.
It's only gay if you receive, don't worry.
After depositing 90 pounds of lead into his cranium, we drain his health bar
Oh my god.
and break his psychic powers. This causes a hard cut from the boss fight directly into a
True.
cutscene where we shoot him in the face, which for some reason I found very funny. I think I was a bit delirious at this point. Either way, that does it. Shaman is dead, the sphere is destroyed, and hundreds of thousands of people who are being controlled by it simply go insane and die on the spot.
Oh, happy ending, I see. Okay.
This is as close to a happy ending as Eastern Europe will ever get.
Aww. Nice. Question mark? I guess.
In conclusion, STALCRAFT X, one of the best games I've played all day. I want to thank Expo for sponsoring this video. Big thanks to the Grim Cleaper for recording with me for 2 hours before blowing himself up with a grenade.
Goodbye, father.
Also, don't forget to try STALCRAFT X today using code SM25Reggie to receive free equipment, 3 days premium access, and
nice.
my undying adoration.
Oh, pink tulips. Oh, how did he know? I love pink tulips. Aw, fine, I will take it.
And finally, thank you for watching.
I liked it. This was fun. I actually liked it. I don't think I would have the patience to play it, but it was a good video. What is that? Stop. I don't want to see this. Put the fur shit away from me.